Every year I always want to do a top 10 or top 15 favorite movies of last year or whatever. It's always hard to do because I can never watch all the movies I ever want to before the year is up and before I can get a video out in the right time. But whatever, we're just going to do it because I want to talk about good films that I saw last year. Obviously, this is just my opinion. Just because I'm an editor or that I work on, short films or documentaries, commercials, stuff like that, it does not mean these are, you have to like these or you have to go see them. These are just movies that really resonated with me for some reason or another. I'm going to give you a top 10 and then some honorable mentions that I think are out there that I would like to give a shout out to. They just didn't quite make the cut. And of course there are other films this last year that I didn't see that I've heard a lot of great things about. I heard a lot of great things about RRR. I heard wonderful things about Decision to Leave. I really want to see that because I love Park Chan-wook as a filmmaker. Another movie I haven't seen is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I gotta go see that, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Let's get some honorable mentions out of the way. I liked these movies. I'd recommend them. They didn't quite make the top 10, but there's a lot of fun to be had with some of these. Elvis came out early on in the year. Not sure if it's going to get a whole lot of award season buzz. I know it's gotten some here and there, but I hope Austin Butler gets an Oscar nod for Best Leading Actor. He did wonderful. The movie's fun, and I think Baz Luhrmann's very stylistic, kind of out there approach really worked well for Elvis. Probably worked well for Elvis more than a lot of his other films. A bit more divisive. Babylon, I know, got mixed reactions. I was super excited to see it. I'm a huge Damien Chazelle fan. I love Whiplash. I love La La Land. And I really liked First Man, so I was really excited to see Babylon. Some of the parts didn't quite land for me. Some moments were just like amazing, and I'm like, as an editor too, I'm looking at the montages going like, holy crap, this is incredible. Then there were some other scenes that were just cut so it looked like really poorly. It is a mixed bag, I get it, but there is enough to love here and enough value here that it's worth a shot. Another honorable mention, Avatar: The Way of Water. I'll sign up for anything James Cameron. I like his movies, and I liked the first Avatar. I thought the Avatar: The Way of the Water, the sequel, was actually an improvement from the first one. It improved on some story elements. A couple parts that I felt like probably could have been trimmed down, especially near the third act, but overall I felt like the entire story was an improvement from the first one. Last honorable mention, Top Gun Maverick. Some people probably place this like in their top 5. It was really good. I really didn't expect to like it. I was like, meh, but it was phenomenal. I actually think Top Gun will get a Best Editing nod, as well as sound, of course, maybe visual effects. Number 10, Nope. I love Jordan Peele's films. I love Get Out. Us was pretty good, but I was excited for Nope, and while I do kind of prefer Get Out, Nope was probably the most fun, entertaining, and most engaged I've been with in any Jordan Peele film. I'm really excited to see what more he does. If he wants to just keep on making horror, that's fine. Number 9, Banshees of Inisherin. I knew it was going to be an award season juggernaut because it's Martin McDonagh. I knew he was a very talented writer when I saw 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. And I was thinking this is probably going to be just on par with it. I actually like this one. I don't know which one I like more and which one I would prefer to rewatch again, but I will see Banshees of Inisherin. I think is just as well written, maybe even slightly more than 3 billboards. Definitely worth a watch. Probably not everyone's cup of tea, but definitely respectable. And if you are a filmmaker, especially if you're a screenwriter, this is one to learn from. Number 8, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I was really excited for this, but it ended up being even better than I thought it would be. Number 7, All Quiet on the Western Front. This is Netflix's purely German film on the original story. It's a remake from the 1930s, which was remade in the 1970s, which maybe has been remade in other places, but those are the only 2 renditions that I know of. Craft-wise, All Quiet on the Western Front is impeccable. It's an incredibly well-made film, and one that unfortunately has been flying under the radar. I think there are a couple emotional and narrative beats that it could have hit a little bit better, with some slower pacing. And I don't mean duration, I mean slower pacing. It's already a 2.5-hour film. It didn't need to be any longer, but there were some scenes that I felt like if they would have just not cut, it could have been much more impactful. Besides a couple of those little nitpicks, it's a well-edited film, very well shot, great production design, wonderful performances by all the actors. Number 6, Everything Everywhere All at Once. This took me forever to get to because I just didn't have the time to watch it, but everyone was just like, this is the best movie ever made. And I was like, okay, whatever. But I wanted to give it a shot. Everyone was loving it. It looked bonkers, but in a pretty good, fun way. Great idea, and well executed, and at the heart of such like a ambitious film and an ambitious story is a very human thread that hits home, I think, hard with a lot of viewers. I think that's why it's so well received. Number 5, Glass Onion. I like Rian Johnson. I love Knives Out, and I love this movie. I think the comedy landed harder. I had more fun with the characters. This was great. This is just the definition of just a good time. Number 4, The Fablemans. I was excited for this for obvious reasons. This was Steven Spielberg doing an autobiographical, or maybe semi-autobiographical, biopic of his childhood and him falling in love with cinema as he's growing up, making films and falling in love with the craft and kind of finding his way. Obviously, that resonated with me. I think it will resonate with a lot of filmmakers and maybe a lot of viewers of the channel. But even if you're not really into filmmaking, but you do have kind of a passion that you like to follow, I think it will resonate with you. And even if it doesn't, it is just a very well done coming of age drama, and it's great. Number 3, The Batman. I don't know what to say about this one. I had somewhat high expectations, but what I got was probably the most cinematic rendition of the character I've ever seen. And I've been so fried and disenchanted with comic book films and superhero films for years that I was like, we don't need this. But I love Matt Reeves' work. I do think Robert Pattinson's a good actor. It had a wonderful crew working on the film. I was like, this is probably going to be pretty well done. And we got something that was just so gritty and down to the comic roots. Something dark, yet stylized. It was very comic book-esque, yet it was so cinematic. Wonderful cinematography, great music, great sound. It's hard not to love it. Number 2, Tar. This one was the last movie I saw of the year. I was really looking forward to it, and wow, is it a stone cold masterpiece. The reason why it's not number 1 is just because it lacked a little bit of emotional connection for me, but the film is just such a masterclass in every aspect of filmmaking that I'm like, it's incredible. Number 1, here we go. The Menu. I loved this movie. I loved what it had to say. I loved how well done it was and how entertaining it was. I was gripped throughout the entire runtime. I thought it was tightly paced, well edited, well shot, good performances, well written. It was everything that I wanted in a movie, and it was a fantastic theater experience. I love also like the blend of all of these genres. It's kind of a drama, but it is such a thriller, yet a comedy, a horror, mystery. It's so out there, but it's my kind of humor. I kind of like the dark humor aspects of The Menu. I loved what it had to say. I do think Ralph Fiennes deserves a Best Supporting Actor nod. I don't know if he'll get it. I don't know if this film will get any Oscar nods, but that's okay because it's still my favorite movie of last year so far. Whatever your favorite movies were from 2022, let me know in the comments. Give me some good recommendations. Let me know about all the movies that you saw and what you like, what you didn't like. If you haven't already, go find me, Tyson Hunsaker at Letterboxd. It's a fun way to kind of keep tabs on your friends to see what movies you guys are watching. And make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.